Hey, good morning everyone. Welcome to Build Balance Flow. So I'm getting the right angle here. My name is Nikki. So today we are working on a more advanced arm balance. We've kind of been building up to it the last couple weeks. It is called Fallen Angel and it's a variation of side crow. You do not have to take this pose. You can work on crow, side crow, or any other pose that you'd like. When we're working on it, you can maybe just watch. If it's something you're kind of interested into, like I said, it is a more advanced pose, something to work towards, maybe give it a try, see how it goes. It does take a lot of upper body. There is twisting, and you can use a block for some support. And, but you can give it a try or you can just watch, whatever feels good. And today we will get started. So we're going to move through, since class is 45 minutes, and I have a lot of warming up of the body I want us to do before we can move into that pose. I like to have the body nice and set and do lots of moves to get the body set up for the right foundation and to get it nice and open and ready to go. So we're going to move a little bit faster today. And we will start in a nice tall seat. So find your sit bones, sit up nice and tall, shoulders over the hips, shrug them back a few times to open up your chest, and take a few breaths in. Nice big breath in through your nose and fill your belly. Exhale, let everything go. Feel free to close your eyes or soften your gaze. We're going to do about 3 more rounds of breath like that. Just taking a nice big breath in. Nice big exhale to just let everything go. One more breath. On your next inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, lean over to the right side. Let your right hand come down. Reach with the left. Push into your left hip. That right hand might reach out farther or be under your shoulder. It's whatever feels good here. And just take a couple breaths to lengthen out the side body. One more full breath here. And as you inhale, come back up to center. Exhale to the left. Let your left hand float down. Push into your right hip. Reach with your right fingers and take a few breaths here. One more breath. And come back up to center. We're going to add a little twist to it, so lean over to the right. And on your next exhale, take your left hand, sweep it down towards your right wrist, glance down at your right hand. Inhale, back up to that side bend. Exhale, add that twist. Inhale up. One more time, exhale to twist. Inhale up. Pause for your exhale, and then come back to center. Exhale over to the left. Same thing on this side. On your next exhale, take that right hand towards your left wrist. Inhale, come back up to that side bend. 2 more just like that. Just starting to warm up the spine a bit. We have 1 more. Pause for that exhale. Inhale, back up to center. Go find your way into tabletop position. So wrists come under the shoulders, knees come under the hips. Spine is long. Spread your fingers, press into your fingertips. And let's just take a moment here. Press into the fingertips. Take some weight out of the heel of your hand. Practice kind of lifting it up just a little bit, pressing into the fingertips. So that's where you'll want your weight to be for that, not just this arm balance, but really any arm balance is plank down dog, anything like that, to take the pressure off of the wrists. So weight in the fingertips, and their next inhale, let your belly drop, head and hips rise for cow. And then exhale, press into the earth, arch your back up to the sky for cat. And we're going to take about 3 more rounds of breath here, moving at your own pace. So take any extra moves if you like to sway your hips, if you like to do barrel rolls with your chest, whatever you like here. Just really starting to get that spine warm, and then we'll do a little bit of core in cat-cow. Another fantastic thing about arm balance is working that core. You need a strong core so that it can help you to pull up out of the pose, to take weight off of the hands and the shoulders and the arms. We're going to find our way into that tabletop. Switch your weight to your right hand and your left leg. Left arm, right leg come out. Your toe can be down, or you can float that leg. Exhale back into tabletop and switch sides. Inhale to reach out. Exhale to tabletop. We'll do a couple more of that. So make sure when you come back into that tabletop, your weight is in all 4 limbs. So put your weight in both hands, both knees and feet, and then switch it to one and reach, and then come back. And and it's hard without a mirror, as you're doing that reach, you want to think of a long line. So it's real easy to lift the arm and the leg up a little bit higher, but you want to keep them nice and straight to keep the spine long. And then we're going to come back into that tabletop position. We're going to add a knee to elbow. So right arm or left arm, right leg, knee to elbow, curling your back into that cat position. Inhale to reach it out. Exhale to tabletop. And switch sides. Inhale to reach. Knee to elbow. Inhale to reach. Back to tabletop. A few more of those. Just really arching up that back in that cat pose, because we're going to use that core, that lifting up through the core in our arm balance. So we want to make sure we're really stretching everything out and building up the strength a little bit there and getting the body used to that position. And then you're going to find your way back into that tabletop position. So finding your way into bringing your elbows down to the mat. I got a little ahead of myself there. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. Palms are flat, fingers spread, press into the knuckle, or the fingertips and knuckles. Tuck your toes, and you're just going to float your knees just a little bit as you inhale. Exhale, lower them down. So we're going to do that 3 more times. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. And as you're lifting, I want you to think of pressing into your elbow and your fingertips. Using your core to help lift those legs. Engaging your shoulders. Shoulder blades slide up the back. Shoulders are away from the ears. We've got 1 more here. And then this time you're going to tuck the toes, float the knees, and lift them all the way up, coming into a nice dolphin pose. So pressing into your elbows to press your chest towards your thighs, pressing into your fingertips, relax your neck and your jaw. Knees can be a little bit bent here if that feels good. And again, engaging the shoulders, shoulder blades sliding up the back. Hugging the elbows in as you're pushing into them, just like we do in our down dog and our chaturanga. 1 more breath. And lower the knees down to the ground. Bring your hands back to the mat. You're going to find your way into down dog. So if you need to walk your hands forward a little, go ahead. Spread the fingers, press into the tips, tuck the toes. Hips come up and back. And take a few breaths here in this down dog. If you want to pedal it out, move your hips side to side, whatever feels good here. Just get some movement going. We're going to take just a couple breaths here before we really get moving. And I know I talked about a class, and I even put it out there and took a poll for foundations for arm balances. So I got like mixed on Instagram. I got more people wanting outdoor, and on Facebook I got more people wanting online virtually. So I'm going to do one of each, and I will be putting that out there this afternoon when I will be doing the virtual one. I'm still working on when and where for the Instagram, because I have people all over, so I've got to figure out where we're going to do it. So let's go ahead and find some stillness in your dog. Press into the fingers, hug the elbows in, shoulder blades slide up the back. Relax your neck and your jaw, and then step your feet forward to meet your hands. Let your head hang heavy, grab elbows, or let your fingers kind of float down to the ground. Sway a little side to side, or whatever feels good. Just let your head be heavy, lengthening out the spine. Relax your elbows. Press, or let go of your elbows. Press into the soles of your feet. Roll up slow. Stack your vertebra one on top of the other. Let your head be the last thing to come up. Maybe heel toe your feet in just a little bit. Shoulders shrug back a few times. Open everything up. Take a moment to get set up here. Roll through the feet a couple times. Finding that ground. Palms open up. Maybe engage these lower abs. Bring the tailbone in line. Shoulder blades slide down the back. Take a breath in through your nose. Big exhale. And on your next inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale to reach. Soften your knees and fold forward. Halfway lift, nice long spine. And fold. Step your right foot back. Plant your right hand, the left fingers reach for the sky. Take a couple breaths here in this twist. You can always lower the right knee if you need to. And on your next exhale, let your hand float down to frame your foot. Step back to down dog. Oh, sorry about that, Jen. Shift forward into your plank. Whoa. Hug your elbows into lower down to your belly. Shrug your shoulders back, untuck your toes, lift your heart, press into the tops of your toes, your thighs, lengthen through the spine, and press back to down dog. Right foot steps forward to that lunge, left foot steps up to meet it. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, take a twist to the right, elbows can be bent or arms open up, and that twist comes from the waist. Inhale back to center. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift, and lower. Step the left foot back, plant that hand, right fingers reach up. Take a couple breaths in this twist. Let your hand come down to frame your foot. Step back to down dog. Shift forward into plank. Toes or knees, elbows hug in to lower to your belly. Shoulders shrug back and lift your heart. Press back to down dog. Left foot steps forward to lunge, right foot steps up to meet it. Press into the soles of the feet to rise up. Take that twist to the left. Come on back to center. And fold forward. Halfway lift. And fold. Right foot steps back, plant that hand. Left fingers reach up. Exhale, let that hand come down and step back to down dog. Good. Shift forward into plank. Hug the elbows in. This time lower halfway down, chaturanga. We're going to pause here. So knees down is always a nice option. And you want to make sure, and everyone's arms are different, so your chaturanga is going to look a little bit different. Everyone's body is different. but you don't want to lower your body lower than your elbows. So those elbows are hugging into your rib cage. Again, shoulder blades slide down the back, weights in the fingertips. Lengthen through the crown of the head and the tailbone. And then you can lower all the way down if you'd like, or lengthen up for up dog if your back feels ready. Press back to down dog. Inhale, lift that right leg. Take a moment, dial your toes and your hip bones down. That leg doesn't have to come high, but you want the hips and the shoulders square, so weight is even in your hands. And as you exhale, bring your right knee into your nose, curl your back into that cat. Inhale to lengthen the leg out. Let's do that 2 more times. Knee to nose. And lengthen. And you've got 1 more here. Knee to nose. And lengthen. And then this time, bring that right foot all the way forward. Step your left foot up to meet right. Inhale to rise. Exhale, take that twist to the right. And come back to center. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Fold and left foot steps back. Plant the left hand, right fingers reach up. Let that hand float down and step back to down dog. Shift forward into plank. Again, toes or knees, elbows hug in, lower halfway to your chaturanga. So elbows hugging into the ribs. Again, shoulders, ribs, elbows, all nice and even so that your body's not down here, elbows up like a cricket, kind of like a cricket. You just want to keep everything in a nice long line. It is a lot of work, but it's going to strengthen the shoulders and the arms for those arm balances. And then gently either lower all the way down if you're going into cobra, or lengthen through the crown of the head, press into your fingertips, lift up for up dog, press back to down dog. Left foot lifts to the sky, toes and hip bones face down. Exhale, knee to nose, curling your back into that cat, and lengthen it out. 2 more like that. Make sure your weight is even in your hands and your shoulders are square to the front. 1 more, knee to nose. Lengthen that leg out, and then step the left foot forward. Right foot steps up to meet it. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, twist it to the left. Inhale back to center and fold forward. And we're going to mix it up a little bit here. Halfway lift and lower. Step your right foot back. Rise up into your lunge. We're going to come into a prayer twist. So we really want to get that spine ready to twist. Hands to heart. You can lower your back knee if you need to. Lengthen through the spine, shoulder blades down the back. You're going to turn to the right, and then you're going to tilt yourself towards the ground. So elbow comes inside of your thigh or outside of your thigh, and I mean to the left, not the right. My right, your left. So a few things here with this prayer twist. You want your hands to stay at your heart center. So if you're in that twist and your hands are coming up towards your left shoulder, then that means you're twisting more from the shoulders and not the waist, and you'll want to lessen your twist a bit. So you want that twist to come from right here. Peek it down at your knee. If your knee is falling into the right a bit, you want to lessen that twist so you're not torquing your knee, your hip, or your ankle, putting undue pressure on there for possibly later injuries. On your next inhale, rise back up into that lunge. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back to down dog. Hug the elbows in, lower down to chaturanga, and hold it for a breath. Good, you can lower to your belly for cobra or lengthen through the crown of the head for up dog, and press back to down dog. Right leg lifts to the sky. We're going to mix this up. 1 time, knee to nose, curl in the back. Lengthen that leg out. This time take your knee to your left elbow and lengthen it out. And one more time, knee to left elbow, lengthen it out. Take that foot forward into your lunge. Left foot steps up to meet right, rise up. And sit back into chair. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, come back to center and fold forward. Halfway lift and lower. Step your left foot back. Rise up into that lunge, coming into prayer twist on this side. Hands to heart, palms press into each other, shoulder blades slide down the back. Turn to the right, and lean down, elbow inside or outside of that thigh. And again, make sure the hands stay at the heart center. So that twist stays coming from the waist. Make sure your knee is straight ahead, even with your toes. So you're not putting pressure on the knee or the hip or the ankle. You've got one more round of breath. And on your next inhale, rise back up into your lunge. Fold forward, plant your hands, step back to down dog. Shift forward into your plank, toes or knees, hug the elbows in, lower to chaturanga and hold it for a breath. And either lower down or untuck the toes, lengthen through the crown of the head for up dog or cobra, press back to down dog. Left foot lifts to the sky, one time knee to nose, curl in your back. Lengthen that leg out, knee to right elbow. And lengthen it out. Let's do that one more time. Knee to right elbow. And lengthen. Then bring that foot forward to your lunge. Step your right foot up to meet left. Inhale to rise up. Exhale down to chair. Pause here. Take a couple breaths. We're going to do revolved or twisted chair. We've got some core work, a little more twist to do. Then we're going to move into side crow and then into fallen angel. So in that chair, palms press into each other. If you'd like, you can reach forward or up. So one thing I do notice as an instructor, and not just when I'm teaching, but if I'm watching things online and stuff as well, that's one thing if you do yoga teacher training, you'll start to notice when you see people like online in classes say, oh, they should turn in their heel a little bit, or different alignment things people could do to help a little bit better. But you'll want, if your arms are up, a lot of times what I see is this tailbone tilting up. So you want to engage these lower abs so tailbone comes in line with the spine. And if that doesn't feel right, bring the arms forward or hands to heart. You do not always have to take a pose to the most challenging level, which would be arms to ears. For me, that's not comfortable on my shoulders anyway, so I don't take my arms there. A lot of times we have to set our ego aside in yoga and listen to our body. And I know you're holding that chair, I'm just trying to distract you here. Listen to our body and do what we can do where we're at today. And if that means that you don't take it to the highest level, that's okay. All right, inhale to rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to move into that revolved or twisted chair. So bring big toes touching or full feet touching, whatever's comfortable. Shoulders shrug back. Start with hands at your heart. And then sit your hips back. And then you're going to turn it to the right. And then lean it forward, just like our prayer twist. So elbow can come in front of the knees, to the outside of the thigh, whatever is working for you today. And still want that twist to come from your waist. So you want to take a peek down, again, like our prayer twist, hands at your heart. They're moving up towards your shoulder, less in your twist. Take a peek down if your left knee is really popping forward. that means your hips are not square, so you'll want to square up the hips. Knees are pretty even. That one might hop forward just a little bit, but your knees will be pretty even. Hips are square, and you'll have to lessen that twist just a little bit. And on your exhale, fold forward. Take a nice full breath here. And then you're going to sit the hips back, lift the chest back in a chair, hands to heart. Turn it to the left. Same thing, finding that twist on this side. So again, take a peek down. Make sure your right knee is not popping forward here. That means your hips aren't square, and that means your twist is coming from your hips and not your waist. So we really want to focus on that twist from the waist, because when you are in side crow and fallen angel, that's where it needs to come from. If your hips or your shoulders are off, it's going to throw off your balance. We need all the help we can get with our balance, right? Let's take one more breath in that twisted or revolved chair. And then fold forward. Take a full breath here. And then gently roll it up. Nice. So we're just going to take a big breath in. Hands to heart, step your right foot or your left foot back into a nice lunge. And then turn in your left heel, open up warrior two. Lengthen out the right leg, press into the outer edge of the left foot. Reach your right arm forward, push back on that left hip, and let your right fingers come to your shin, a block, or the ground. So we're going to take a couple breaths here. And you want a nice long spine. You can look up towards the sky, you can look straight ahead or down at the ground. Fingers are fully energized. Imagine each inhale, you're pressing into the soles of your feet, reaching through your fingertips, lengthening through the crown of the head and the tailbone like you're a unicorn. You're growing your horn and your tail, lengthening it all out. Good, let's sweep the right fingers forward, up and back. Dance that triangle for a couple breaths, lengthening out the right side of the body. And then you're going to come back into triangle pose, and you're going to add a twist. So the left hand comes down to your block or the ground. Left hand comes to your hip or to the sky. You want to stack your hands. You stack your shoulders. So if you're like me, I don't have a mirror here when I practice. Guys, please feel free to video yourself or have someone video you or take pictures, especially if you do most of your stuff at home. That way you can see where you're at, foundation-wise, alignment-wise. It's very easy to be like, yes, I've got this pose, and then you look at a picture or in the mirror, and you see that your arms way out of alignment instead of shoulders stacked, your arms way out here or something like that. So I do it all the time. I take videos, I take pictures. I don't post them. I look at them so I can see where I'm at and where my body's at and where I need to make some changes. So very useful tool, these cell phones that we have. And let that right hand come down. Left fingers reach up. Sweep the right fingers up and back to dance one more time. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot. Step your left foot up to meet right. Rise up. Hands to heart. Inhale to reach. Exhale to fold. Right foot steps back. Rise up into that lunge. Turning your heel, open up warrior two. Lengthen the left leg. Same thing here. Reach your fingers forward, come into triangle and hold it for a few breaths. Triangle may look and feel differently on this side. Make sure you're pressing into the outer edge of the right foot, both feet. Reaching with the fingertips, reaching with the crown of the head and the tailbone. One more breath. And then sweep the left fingers up and back, reversing your triangle or dancing your triangle. And then we're going to come back into triangle, add that twist. So take the right hand to the ground or a block, left fingers reach up, Take a couple breaths here in this twist. Let's take one more breath. And let that left hand come back down, right fingers reach up for triangle. Sweep the fingers up and back to dance. Cartwheel your hands down to frame the left foot. Right foot steps up to meet left, and this time you're gonna have a seat. We're gonna do 1 minute of core. I always feel like I run out of time for these things. 1 minute of core. So you're gonna come down onto your back. And you're going to do opposite arm to opposite leg. Try not to kick anything like I did. Exhale to come up. Inhale to lower. And if you want a little more intensity, arms and legs come up at the same time. And the clock is starting now. So exhale up. Inhale down. Or inhale. Yeah. If you want both at the same time. And lower. If you're looking for a really good core challenge, you may want to do opposite arm, opposite leg, switch, and then both arms and legs at the same time. Start out with 10, and each day add 3 to 5 more. Try that for a full week, see how you feel. I've gotten all the way up to 40 before. I will say that sometimes I have trouble getting out of bed the next day because my core is not super happy with me. But if you're looking for a little bit of a challenge, that's kind of a, I don't want to say easy, but it's just one thing to try each day. It takes a few minutes of your time. And release. Bring your knees into your chest, give them a hug, rock a little side to side on your lower back for a moment. And we're going to come into side crow and then into fallen angel. And if side crow is not in your practice yet, or it's not something that you're even looking to try, you can pop on into crow pose, or you can take a little breather and watch us come into side crow and fallen angel. So you'll see, if you look online, a lot of people, their legs are straight up in the air. My legs do not reach all the way up. Probably if I practiced quite a bit it would, but it's okay. You just want to try and straighten the legs. They don't have to be all the way up to the sky. It's what works in your body. The main thing is finding that foundation and challenging your body and your mind. So with this one, we do come down very light to the side of the head. So I want to make sure when we come down to the head, and I'll coach it as we're there, you don't want to really put your head on the floor. You want it to be light, maybe even a little bit off of the ground, so you're not putting pressure on your neck there. So let's come on up, grab a drink if you need it. Making our way into side crow, and if you didn't take my class from last week, or if you forgot, because even though it was a week ago, it seems like it was forever ago. Even during the pandemic, it seems like time just is crazy and so many things happening at once. So I like to start in a nice little squatted position, heels up. Weight to the balls of the feet, maybe put a block under your heels. Hands to your heart. We're going to start by turning to the right. Bring your hands down to the ground. Pause here. So you want to hug your right knee into your left upper arm. Weight comes into your fingertips. You're going to bend your elbows and start to shift your weight. Your leg will come, your thigh will come to, you'll make a little shelf with your arms as you bend the elbows. And your thigh will come to the back of your left arm, and your hip might come to the back of your right arm or not. Some people like to do what I call like a double balance. Some people just put that thigh on their arm and they don't put their hip on their back arm. So it's up to you, whatever feels good. And you're going to start to shift your weight. You're going to start to tilt. So I like to lift my bottom leg first. Make sure you're hugging your elbows in. You have that nice, strong shoulder girdle. Hugging the elbows in. Maybe lift that top leg. Let's see if I can do it today. Squeeze the legs together, spread the fingers. From here, you're going to tilt a little bit more. Let the head come light to the ground. Lift the legs up towards the sky. Keep hugging the elbows in. Maybe lengthen the right leg, maybe not. So take your time with it. Pop out of it if you need to. You're hugging your elbows in. That core that we worked on, that cat pose, you're engaging your core. That's lifting your core, so you're kind of lifting your weight up and out of your arms and your wrists and your fingers. And again, head is either very light or just slightly off the ground. That is going to take pressure off of your neck. If your neck is bothering you, there's too much weight and you're not quite ready to float those legs up. And that's okay. It does take a lot of work. Let's take one more breath wherever you're at. If you're still in that pose, working on a pose, come on back down. Let's take a breath and then we'll come to the other side because you know we have to get both sides. So find that position up on the balls of your feet, twisting to the left. Your wrists come under your shoulders, hug your elbows in, weight to your fingertips, lean forward, lift that bottom leg, then that top, squeeze the legs, spread the fingers, and then you'll gently bring your head lightly to the ground, start to lift the legs up, keep hugging the elbows in. And again, just like my leg, it doesn't have to go straight up to the sky. Even if you don't lengthen that leg and you're just starting to tilt your hips and your legs so your toes face a little more towards the sky instead of straight out, that's okay too. Take a couple breaths if you're still in that pose, if you're in side crow, if you're in crow, if you're having a seat and watching. I'm going to do each side one more time while you're taking a breath, just in case you watch this later on and you want to see, and then we'll go ahead and cool it down. And I am always happy to answer any questions anyone has. I am always happy to work a little one-on-one with you. If there's something you're unsure about, I can meet you somewhere and we can socially distance, or I can do it online via Zoom or Google Meet. Awesome, guys. Okay, let's come on back to a seat. Take a couple breaths. It's a lot of work. When I do the foundations for arm balances, it's going to be a full hour. There'll be a little bit of a warm-up, really working on strengthening. But the first half hour is going to be warming up the body and getting it set for basic arm balances. So working on shoulders, arms, core for that balance. And then we'll fly into a few different poses, try them out, check them out, and then we'll cool it down and stretch it out. So let's go ahead and have a seat. Take the legs nice and long. Find those sit bones, reach up to the sky and fold forward. Let your hands float down, let your neck and your jaw relax. Keep your feet flexed, but feel free to bend your knees as much as you need here. And take a few breaths. And friends, I have I'm trying out a new platform. It's very new, it's only about a month old. It's called Moxie, and I can do classes on there for free, donation-based, for a fee, and also privates through there. So I'm trying out a free class on Sunday to see if I like the platform and what I think about it. I'll always still have probably a class or so on here, but I may start doing classes on that platform. So you can join me on Sunday. If you want to do a little workout, it's going to be body weight and resistance bands, a 30-minute workout. And as we're cooling down, stretching out, I'll give you that information. Go ahead and come up to a nice tall seat. Make sure you're about midway on your mat, bend your knees, plant your feet, and gently roll down. Since we've done a lot of twists, today we're working the shoulders. We're going to work on opening up the upper back, the chest, and relaxing the lower back and helping the lower back a bit here when we cool down. So you're going to take your right ankle in front of your left thigh, find that figure 4, bring your legs in towards your chest. Maybe you can grab your thigh or the front of your shin, maybe not. You want to keep your low back and your shoulders as flat as you can on the mat. Both feet stay flexed to engage the legs. Take about 3 breaths here. So this new platform, Moxie, it's moxie.xyz. And I did make a post yesterday about it. You can look on Facebook or Instagram. My class is Sunday at 9 a.m. It's 30 minutes resistance, body weight and bands. And even if you don't have a resistance band, you can do it because the resistant band exercises you can do without a band. So join me, see what this platform is like. Let me know what you think about it. I always like to hear feedback, and we'll see how that goes. Maybe something brand new. Let's go ahead and lower the left leg. Take your arms out towards the sides. Exhale, let your legs fall to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. So do a couple more here and think of rolling through your lower back. So to the right, you're on the right side of your back hip. Come back to center. You're rolling through the center of your low back. Over to the left, rolling to that left side. One more time each side. Then you're going to come back up to center. And we're going to switch sides. Take that left ankle in front of the right thigh. Bring the legs in. Feet stay flexed. Shoulders and low back stay on the mat. And take a few breaths here. And guys, if you know someone who is new to yoga or you just kind of want a refresher, Yoga Buzz is doing a series. It may even start this Saturday. I should have looked at the dates. And it's on Saturday mornings. If you go to Yoga Buzz's Facebook page or yogabuzz.org, and it will be an hour-long class each week. They are free, but donations are always appreciated. It's one of my favorite charities, guys. So if you can donate, that'd be awesome. And each week is a different practice. I think they have breath work. They have working through the vinyasas. They have a whole bunch of really cool stuff. So if you or someone you know, even if you only take one of the classes, it's a really great refresher or really great for someone pretty new to yoga. Let's go ahead and set that foot down. Legs are wide. Exhale, legs fall over to the left. Roll through the lower back to come to center. And then roll over to the left side, or right side. And back to center. Good, a couple more each time. And hey guys, I did pretty good until then, having the correct side. I taught for One Life Fitness at Ballpark Village on Sunday. It was a really fun outdoor class. And I kept mixing up my right and my left, so it's always a fun time when I get my right and my left incorrect. Come on back up to center. Bring the knees in towards the chest for a moment. Take the feet to the mat. We're going to go a little bit over today, guys. Lift your hips slightly. Take a block, a rolled up blanket or a pillow. Place it underneath the low back. Lift your shoulders, shrug them back, open the arms out to the side, and you can stay here, supported bridge. Or maybe take the legs up for waterfall, or take them nice and long. This is my favorite one. Just take a few breaths here to let whatever prop you have there, put a little gentle pressure on your low back to maybe release a little tension there. When you do a lot of twists, you can put a lot of stress on your low back. So it's always nice to release that pressure. And that seems to be where people have a lot of problems from sitting, Standing, having incorrect alignment, slouching, not good posture. So it's always nice to baby that lower back a little bit, give it a little extra love. I like to lay like this before bed. Bend your knees, plant your feet. Gently lift that block, lift the hips, slide that block out, set it to the side. And you're gonna find your way into your final resting pose. And because we've already gone over a bit, in just a moment, I'm going to tell you to go ahead and turn off the video so that you can take as long as you need for your Shavasana before you settle in. So when you do settle into that pose, make sure your chest stays open, eyes soft, gaze closed, or gaze soft, eyes closed. Woo! And just try to focus on your breath and your body right in that present moment. Even though thoughts may pop into your head, that is okay. You can't always shut your brain off completely, so it's okay if things pop into your head. Just acknowledge them and then let them go, and then bring your focus back to yourself. So as you're getting settled in, friends, as you're about to turn it off, I just want to say thank you guys so much. From my heart to yours, peace, love, and good health. I hope to see you guys soon. If you have any questions, please, please, please reach out to me. Maybe join me on Moxie on Sunday for a body weight resistance band workout, and I'll see you guys soon. As always, please let me know if you need anything. Peace and love. Have a great day.